says outfits interlocutor Southern Blah peace talks may begin soon. Search and rescue operations in Manipur's Tupul disaster site to be officially called off tomorrow. 5 persons still missing. Mystery shrouds whereabouts of 19 workers from Assam who went missing from Kurungkume district in Arunachal. Delay in payment of wages, lack of basic amenities forced laborers to leave, says police. Sikkim witnesses massive spike in daily COVID cases, 176 new cases, 4 deaths reported in last 24 hours. State Health Department holds key review meets. Sarva Siksha Abhiyan teachers in Meghalaya continue protest demanding release of 5 months pending salaries. Teachers' body not satisfied with government assurance. At first flight, landing test successfully completed in Holongi Greenfield Airport in Arunachal Pradesh. Airport slated to be operational from August 15th. Hello and welcome to Evening Prime. I am Pooja and we start the bulletin with a big story from Meghalaya. Leaders of the banned Hinutrep National Liberation Council or HNLC will be provided safe passage by the government for setting the agenda for the peace talks. Well, news of this massive development was given by HNLC interlocutor Southern Blah. Blah said that state interlocutor, with permission from the centre, has reached an understanding to provide safe passage to the HNLC leaders. The HNLC interlocutor said that since the last 3 months, the executive committee of outfit has held 3 rounds of meetings with the state interlocutor PS Dakar. According to Blah, as the safe passage has been granted, it is expected that in the next few weeks, HNLC leaders will be joining the discussions to set the agenda for the peace process. Stating that the intention of the safe passage is to enable the HNLC leaders to come forward and have direct discussions with authorities, Blah added that the move will speed up the peace process.
The central and the state government has granted safe passage to leader of the HNLC. Safe passage is there to enable the HNLC to come and have a direct discussion with the authorities, be it of the state or the central government. So that is the intention of the safe passage, and it will speed up the process also if the leaders of the HNLC are able to join the discussion and whatever negotiation that they have to do across the table with the central government and the state government. That is the intention. And if the ceasefire has to happen, it will happen only after the leader of the HNLC has been able or put forward their point of view in front of the state and central government. In the first chapter, we have to talk about the legality of allowing the HNLC to come to the negotiation table first. Then what you asked me is about the political issues or the agendas that the HNLC as a military organization has been endorsed for the past 30 years. So those agendas and those issues are yet to be discussed and yet to be put in the public domain. Only after the safe passage is agreed and which have been agreed, then only things will move forward and public will be in the know about what are the second chapter or what are the political agendas or political issues that the agency would like to put forward to the state government and the central.
Well, Blah added that is it the norm in the rest of the Northeast where cadres of groups coming for talks have been rehabilitated. The same is expected in case of HNLC.
We have seen that different militant outfits in the Northeast India which have come to the negotiation table. That is the protocol that the government have to follow, and I think government in the next coming days will have to take appropriate decision regarding the rehabilitation of the cadres.
And Blah also added that the HNLC has not been aggressive of late and that this was a positive sign.
from the side of the HLC, there has been no aggressive activities. I won't say any other word, but no aggressive activities from the side of the HLC, which only indicates that the HLC also, from its part, is serious about the peace process to move forward.
All right, our news editor Nabrun Goswami joins us over the phone line to give us an update on this big development coming in from Meghalaya. Well, Nabrun, as the HNLC leaders is being granted safe passage, and this was mentioned by a big revelation by the HNLC interlocutor Southern Blah there, that peace talks may begin soon. What is your thought on this?
Rightly mentioned, Pooja, it's a massive development. However, we are yet to get a confirmation from the state government. But yes, the HNLC peace interlocutor Sadon Blah has confirmed that in the massive move, the central government, he said, the central government, the state government have reached an understanding with the HNLC to grant safe passage to the leaders for engaging in peace talks. Blah also revealed that in the last 3 months, the so-called executive committee of the HNLC has held 3 rounds of meetings with the state interlocutor, mind you, P.S. Dakhar was appointed the state interlocutor. Of course, Dakhar is a retired Indian IS officer, and he was the state interlocutor who had been engaging in talks with the HNLC interlocutor and also leaders of the HNLC, and Blah has informed that as many as in the last 3 months, there were 3 rounds of meetings held, and it has been agreed upon that the HNLC leaders will be given safe passage so that they can engage in the peace process. Now, peace process here doesn't mean that they have been given safe passage to engage in the peace talks as such, but to what we understand from what Sadon Blah is saying, they will be given safe passage to set the agenda for the talks. Again, if you have heard, Sadon Blah has not really said about what will be the topic of the point of discussion or what could be the certain demands of the HNLC. That is not mentioned. The first thing, the first chapter, he said, is to get the safe passage, get it legally done, and set the agenda for the talks. And that is the second chapter. The point of discussion will be, of course, the second chapter, and that's the confirmation today that we are getting from the HNLC peace interlocutor. We are still waiting for a government confirmation. Now, as per Blah, the safe passage has been granted. This is a big development in itself, and we can expect in the next few weeks, some top HNLC leaders will be joining the discussion as far as setting the agenda for the peace process is concerned. So this is a massive development, Pooja. If you consider the HNLC has been in the limelight of late, we have had more than a couple of blast explosions in Shillong city itself. Apart from this, a recovery of an IED in Shillong. So yes, the HNLC has been in the news. The peace process had begun. The momentum for the peace talks had begun months ago. With, of course, Sadon Blah as the HNLC peace interlocutor, P.S. Dakhar as the state interlocutor. Things finally seem to be moving now. This is a big turning point, big development in the sense that finally, after a long time, all this time the government had maintained that first they have to give up arms and only then any talks can be held. We are not still clear on the ceasefire part, but definitely the safe passage can actually break the ice, and we can expect that the peace process to begin pretty soon, Pooja.
All right. Now, Nabrun, we just also heard from the outfit's interlocutor, which he added that, as is the norm in the rest of the Northeast, where cadres of groups coming for talks have been rehabilitated, the same is expected in case of HNLC as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that will happen as and when the peace talks conclude. That will be a part of the package. But yes, the most interesting part would now be what about the ceasefire? If it has to happen, it can happen, as Sadon Blah said, only after the HNLC leaders put forward their views in front of the government, and even the legality of allowing them for coming to the negotiation table. There are a lot of factors now, but definitely this is a turning point. There's a big breakthrough. At least a safe passage will be provided. There will be an interaction, direct interaction between the HLNC leaders and the authorities and the government representatives. And we can expect now for things to move. But the peace process, the peace talks can take a long time, as we have seen in many other cases. But with Meghalaya approaching the assembly elections soon, in a few months' time, this definitely is a big move, Pooja, and also adds another feather to the cap of the Congress Sangma-led government in the state.
All right. Thank you, Nabrun, for giving us those details at this point in time. And on to the Manipur landslide tragedy. Well, the search and rescue operations at the Tupul disaster site in Manipur's None district will be officially called off tomorrow at 6 p.m. This was decided after a review meeting today chaired by Manipur Disaster Management and Relief Minister Avangboy Nyumai. Officials of Army, NDRF, SDRF and local villagers and CSOs were present in meeting. In the meeting, the local villagers and CSOs stated that the search operation should be permanently called off and it may be done today. But it was decided that the operation shall continue as it is still 6 p.m. tomorrow when it will be officially called off. If no more bodies are recovered till 6 p.m. tomorrow, 5 people will be listed missing in the devastating landslide ever recorded in the history of Manipur. And our Chief of Bureau, Arindam Das, spoke to None DC H. Gaite on the development. Let's listen in.
Please tell us about today's development. The meeting was held. It was chaired by the disaster management.
The operation will continue till tomorrow afternoon, and it will be officially closed tomorrow. And even if stakeholders want to continue on their own, they can continue, but officially on the state government side, it will be closed by tomorrow.
Okay. And who were the people present in that meeting?
The Honorable Minister Disaster Relief and Management is there, and the SCS Disaster Relief Management is there, and from Army side, Brigadier is there, Colonel is there.
Okay.
Yeah, and villagers are there.
Okay, the villagers or the civil society organizations have told you that they want the operations to be stopped.
Yeah, they say that it's for the state government to give a call, and they don't mind stopping it today also.
Okay.
But we said we'll continue tomorrow, till tomorrow.
Okay, so tomorrow it will be officially closed.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 more bodies will be still missing.
Yeah, 5 more bodies.
And what will be the identity of those people?
3 of them are suspected to be villager. One is PA, Territorial Army.
Okay.
And one is BSc employee.
Okay, fine. So tomorrow, what time it will be closed officially?
6 o'clock, 6 p.m.
Fine. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so that was our Chief of Bureau, Arindam Das, who spoke to None DC H. Gaite on the entire development. Shifting focus now, mystery shrouds the whereabouts of at least 19 workers from Assam who have gone missing since July 5th from Arunachal's Kurumkume district. The workers who were brought to the construction site at Huri village in Kurumkume was by 2 subcontractors on July 6th left the camp on the night of July 5th. Speaking exclusively to Northeast Live correspondent Ripunjay Das, Kurumkume SP Abhimanyu Poswal said, delay in payment of wages by the subcontractors prompted the laborers to flee. Moreover, the laborers wanted to go home for Eid festivities, the SP informed. The SP informed that a team has been sent to Huri village to ascertain the whereabouts of the missing persons, but there has been no breakthrough so far.
We are now being joined by the SP of Kurumkume district, Mr. Abhimanyu. Sir, if you can please tell us the details as to what is happening on this missing case of 19 laborers from Assam.
Actually, an information has been received on 13th of July 2022 from the owner of the construction company Bengia Bado that 19 laborers are reported missing from the construction site, which is located in our district, Kurumkume, and it is located in Huri village. So a team was formed on the same day to find out the location and what has happened at the construction site. So all the effort has been made to find out the missing person with the help of the locals and the villagers. Since the location is very remote and we don't have any network connectivity there also, so it will be a bit difficult for us to get the information on the same day. So our team has come back on 1 or 2 days back and nothing fruitful has happened. After the preliminary inquiry from the laborers, what we have found is that they have bought to this location or the construction site by two subcontractors actually, the Roham Ali and Abdul Kudu. So these subcontractors, they have sent the laborers to these labor camps, but due to the absence of any network connectivity and the wages has not been paid on the time and basic amenities has not been provided by these subcontractors, so they are not happy. In addition to it, to celebrate their festival of Eid, they just want to leave the place and they just want to celebrate the Eid with their family members. So due to all these conditions, the laborers have left the place, which after our preliminary inquiry we have identified that on 6th of June they have come here on the Puri site, but after around a month, on 5th of July 2022, at around 11:30 p.m. in the night, the laborers have left the campsite or the construction site. So this much is the information that is available to us. And recently, today also we have received the information from Damin Circle that one unidentified dead body has been recovered. So we have sent a team in the morning itself. So as per the information available, we will provide you the details also.
Meanwhile, as per reports, the laborers were engaged by the BRO in road construction in Huri under Damin Circle, which is located about 90 kilometers from the Indo-China border. Meanwhile, Northeast Live has accessed the details of the missing persons and they have been identified as Khairul Islam, Moijul Haq of Borpeta, Sonar Uddin of Kamrup, Jenal Ali, Rustam Ali and Hikmati Ali of Baksa. Others have been identified as Wahidul Islam, Abidul Haq, Ibrahim Ali, Abdul Amin and Nurul Islam. Shifting focus to Meghalaya now, the Sarva Siksha Abhiyan teachers in the state continue to stage protest demanding release of 5 months pending salaries, besides enhancement of salaries of over 12,000 Sarva Siksha Abhiyan teachers. President of the Meghalaya SSA School Association central body, Aristotle Rimbai, said that their meeting with government representatives did not yield the desired results, and hence the teachers have decided to continue with the protest.
Here today is regarding the failure of the government to fulfill our 3 demands, which include the to release the 5-month pending salary. We have started around 11:30 a.m. and around 12:30 noon, the government invited us for a talk at the level of the additional chief secretary, Sir D.P. Walang, in the presence of Secretary Education, Sir Ambrose Barak, along with Deputy State Project Director, Sir Andrew Wadri. So during the meeting, we have discussed in length all these 4 agendas. So the outcome of the meeting is we are not satisfied at all. Honestly, we have taken a decision that we will continue our protest, that is indefinite dharna, in this place till the government fulfill our first 2 demands.
And on to COVID updates from Sikkim. Well, the state has recorded a massive spike in daily COVID-19 cases. A total of 176 new cases have been detected in the state in the last 24 hours and 4 new deaths. The active cases in the state have now increased to 688. The daily positivity rate in Gangtok is 27.7%, while in Namchi, the positivity rate stands at 32.8%. Well, Sikkim has recorded a massive spike in daily COVID-19 cases. A total of 176 new cases have been detected in the state in the last 24 hours and 4 new deaths. And we have reactions coming in from Sikkim Principal Secretary Health, D. Anandan. Let's listen in.
What is the present situation of the COVID-19 in this state?
The present situation is that every day the number of cases of COVID has been rising in Sikkim. We have been monitoring the situation from 1st of July. It started with single digit and slowly it went to 2 digits and now it has even gone up to 3 digits. In fact, today the number of positive cases in Sikkim is 176 cases and the positivity rate is also increasing day by day. And today it is 18% and it has even gone up to 24% 2 days before. So we are closely monitoring the situation, and the main purpose of having this meeting here with the press is to make people aware that the number of cases are increasing, though there is no need to panic as of now, because maximum of the cases which we have found positive are all asymptomatic cases. In fact, we have around 688 active cases in Sikkim as of now, out of which only 53 are in hospital, and that too, most of them are with very mild symptoms.
All right, our Gangtok correspondent Prakash Adhikari joins us live to give us the latest on the COVID updates from Sikkim. Well, Prakash, as the positivity rate in Gangtok is very high, so what restrictions are in place?
Hello?
Prakash, if you can hear me, as the positivity rate, the COVID positivity rate in Gangtok is very high, so what are the restrictions that is in place in the state?
Yes, Pooja. Today in last 24 hours, 176 COVID positive cases reported in Sikkim, and now 688 active cases in Sikkim. And now Gangtok positivity rate is 27.7%, and about 50% are admitted in the COVID dedicated hospital, STNM, and 1% in ICU. So now alarming situation in the state, and positivity rate is very high here, 27.7% in Gangtok district and 32.5 positivity rate in Namche district. Pooja.
All right, Prakash, as the tourists are visiting the state, so what are the restrictions put in for the tourists who are visiting the state? Any restrictions, any new SOPs by the authorities out there?
No such restriction now in the state, but this is the off season for the tourist, so no such restriction. But if a positivity rate is continuous, so state government will impose some restriction to the tourist.
Prakash, a close to 30% positivity rate in the state capital. So what steps is the government taking to tackle the rise?
Yes, now mask wearing is compulsory and social distancing compulsory here. And today, special DGP of Sikkim Police Success Sadhwa said that if any person not wearing mask, Sikkim Police imposed 500 rupees fine, and if any person violate the government norms, they will impose a fine.
All right. Thank you, Prakash, for giving us those details. And with that, we take a short break. Stay tuned for more news.
Railway yard where this massive landslide took place. There was a camp of the territorial army. There were camps of the railway. The landslide started and it came down all the way and it went down furthermore many meters down to the None River. The officials of the NDRF, SDRF, and also the local people who are carrying out the search and rescue operations.
The Shillong Pamai, he's the exact person just lead the rescue operation from this side. This is Saroi Pandongba village. This is a river side on the Saroi Pandongba side.
कि हम और आप कभी नहीं सोच सकते थे कि डिमा हासो में इस तरह का न्यू हाफलोंग रेलवे स्टेशन इतना कुछ हो सकता है और इसी रेलवे स्टेशन में विस्टाडून जैसा ट्रेन यहाँ पर स्पेशल टूरिस्ट आने जाने के लिए भी यहाँ पे रिसेंटली चलाया दिया गया.
You can see the people are trying. The local people are trying to help each other.
Build your dream at the Assam Royal Global University. Success is not an overnight phenomenon. You need to work hard and go through the grind every day to achieve what you want. Engineer, fashion designer, or someone working in the field of medical science, or the CEO of your own company, you can dream anything and make that happen here at the Assam Royal Global University.
জ্বৰ মানে কোভিড-19 নহয়, ই জাপানীজ এনকেফেলাইটিছৰ লক্ষণ হ'ব পাৰে কাৰণ এই সময়খিনি জাপানীজ এনকেফেলাইটিছৰ উচ্চ সংক্ৰমণৰ সময়, গতিকে আতংকিত নহ'ব। অতিপাত জ্বৰ, তীব্ৰ মূৰৰ বিষ, মানসিক অস্থিৰতা, ভ্ৰম আৰু সংজ্ঞানহীনতা, শৰীৰৰ কঁপনি আদি হৈছে জাপানীজ এনকেফেলাইটিছৰ লক্ষণ। আপোনাৰ ক্ষেত্ৰতো যদি এনে কোনো লক্ষণ পৰিলক্ষিত হয় তেনেহ'লে আশা, ANM, MPW বা ওচৰৰ চিকিৎসালয়ৰ সৈতে যোগাযোগ কৰক। সকলো জিলা চিকিৎসালয় আৰু চিকিৎসা মহাবিদ্যালয়ত জাপানীজ এনকেফেলাইটিছৰ পৰীক্ষা আৰু চিকিৎসা বিনামূলীয়াকৈ প্ৰদান কৰা হয়। এই ৰোগৰ পৰা বাচি থাকিবলৈ খোৱাৰ সময়ত সদায় আঁঠুৱা ব্যৱহাৰ কৰক। ঘৰৰ ওচৰৰ পৰা গাহৰি আৰু গাহৰিৰ গঁৰাল আঁতৰাই ৰাখক। দীঘল হাতৰ চোলা আৰু দীঘল হাতৰ পেণ্ট পৰিধান কৰক। সন্ধিয়া ঘৰৰ ভিতৰে বাহিৰে ধোঁৱা দিয়াৰ ব্যৱস্থা কৰক। লগতে সকলো সময়তে কোভিড সংক্ৰান্তীয় নীতি নিয়মসমূহ মানি চলক। সতৰ্ক হওক, সুৰক্ষিত থাকক।
Welcome back. Along with the rest of the country, 80 lakh national flags will be hoisted in houses, offices, and commercial establishments across Assam from August 13th to 15th. This will be done as part of Har Ghar Tiranga program being implemented by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to mark the celebration of 74 years of independence. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma also urged people to hoist the tricolor in their houses, shops, schools and colleges from August 13th to 15th. Chief Minister Sharma added that tricolor will be available even in Russian shops.
স্বাধীনতাৰ ৭৫ বছৰ আমাৰ জীৱনত আৰু দ্বিতীয়বাৰ নাহে। এই বছৰটো আমি অমৃত মহোৎসৱ হিচাপে পালন কৰিছো। এই অমৃত মহোৎসৱৰ লগত সংগতি ৰাখি অহা 13 আগষ্টৰ পৰা 15 আগষ্টলৈ 3 দিন আপোনালোকে ভাৰতৰ জাতীয় পতাকা এখন নিজৰ টকাৰে কিনি ঘৰত লগাব লাগিব। অৰ্থাৎ অসমৰ 80 লাখ ঘৰত 13 তাৰিখৰ পৰা 15 তাৰিখলৈকে জাতীয় পতাকা আমি আমাৰ ঘৰত লগাব লাগিব যাতে এই পবিত্ৰ ভাৰত মাতৃক আমি আমাৰ সন্মান প্ৰদৰ্শন কৰিব পাৰো। এই কাৰ্যসূচীৰ মোদী ডাঙৰীয়াই নাম দিছে হৰ ঘৰ তিৰংগা। এই তিৰংগ পতাকা আমি ৰেচন কাৰ্ডৰ দোকানতো উপলব্ধ কৰিম আৰু মহিলা আত্মসহায় গোটসকলেও উপলব্ধ কৰাব। 13ৰ পৰা 15 আগষ্টৰ ভিতৰত অসমৰ প্ৰতি ঘৰ মানুহে প্ৰতিটো দোকানত, প্ৰতিখন স্কুলত, প্ৰতিখন কলেজত আমি আমাৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় পতাকা উৰুৱাই ৰাখিব লাগিব।
Well, sensation prevails at Silchar in Assam's Barak Valley after the death of a youth he set himself ablaze inside the Bandhan Bank. Well, people present at the spot were taken by surprise by this unprecedented incident that occurred within a very short span. Onlookers made every effort to douse the fire and save the individual before informing the police. Meanwhile, the individual identified as Sujan Das, who was rushed to the SMCH in a critical condition with almost 80% burn injury, was declared brought dead by the doctors. So, big story at this point in time, viewers. A sensation prevails at Silchar in Assam's Barak Valley after the death of a youth after he set himself ablaze inside the Bandhan Bank. People present at the spot were taken by surprise by this unprecedented incident that occurred within a very short span. Well, onlookers made every effort to douse the fire and save the individual before informing the police. Meanwhile, the individual identified as Sujan Das, who was rushed to the SMCH in a critical condition with almost 80% burn injury, was declared brought dead by the doctors. But what prompted the youth to end his life? Our Silchar correspondent Vikram Sarkar spoke to the Kachar SP Ramandeep Kaur on this sensational incident. As per initial findings, the deceased had sought for initiating a relationship with one of the employees of the bank employee back in 2020. But when the proposal was rejected, the youth resorted to end his life as per initial police probe.
So right now the stage of investigation, preliminary investigation, we have found that this person was an employee of Bandhan Bank way back in 2020, and apparently this so far it's a matter of unrequited love. So in order to sort of gain the attention of his partner, he poured kerosene over it himself. He attempted self-immolation, and in the process he's declared dead right now by SMCH.
Shifting focus to Meghalaya, a delegation of the Darbar Shillong MOVA, led by West Shillong MLA Mohendro Rapsang, met Deputy Chief Minister Preston Tinsong. The delegation expressed its opposition against the government's move to relocate the residents of Harijan colony from Themyu Molong. According to Rapsang, during the meeting, the Deputy Chief Minister informed the delegation that the location, although identified, has not been finalized.
Your meeting with the Deputy Chief Minister?
Yeah, my meeting with the Deputy Chief Minister along with the person of MOBA to bring forward the memorandum along with the people of MOBA after the meeting on Sunday. They are strongly opposed setting up of another colony there, supervise. So, let us look at the matter. This is not a final asset. We look into the matter and discuss. And this further meeting will be there with them.
But then have you put forward that, as an MLA and also the Durbashnaung, they're against this idea of, relocating the residents from Harijan colony to Maba?
Yes, we have discussed at length about we oppose the full colony to come there. And the minister said we look into the matter and we will resolve.
Yeah, so how many more days, till the next update that you will
Then you will inform the person, you inform me as an MLA to sit again for further action.
Okay, and you're still sticking with the reason that it's overcrowded, or
We agree. It's everything we agree to everything. But he said in this matter we brought to the High Court just a location, one of the locations not yet finalized.
Back to Assam now. A girl from the state has been reportedly attacked by miscreants in Delhi. As per reports, the incident happened in Delhi's Sagarpur area on Monday afternoon. The girl, who has been identified as June Messi, was rushed to a hospital in a wounded state. The girl has alleged that despite complaints, the police in Mayapuri area paid no heed in registering her complaint. June Messi, who hails from Nagaon, was working as a YouTuber in the national capital. Meanwhile, an FIR has been lodged into the matter.
YouTube আমার নাম জুন মেসির নামতে তা ইউটিউব চ্যানেল খুলিছো বাকি ফ্রিল্যান্সার কাম পালে কাম করো নলেকে ইউটিউবতে মানুহক সহায় কৰো আৰু বিশেষকৈ কিন্নাৰ সমাজ যে থাৰ্ড জেন্ডাৰ হয় তেওঁলোকৰ ৰিসপেক্টৰ কাৰণে মই খালি গামোচাখন পিন্ধাও তেওঁ বিষয়ে জানিব বিচাৰো
কেনেকে আপোনাক কোনখিনি মানে কোট আপোনাক এটাক কৰিছিল
আগৰৱাল সাগৰপুৰ আগৰৱাল जो टी पॉइंट আছে হে ডিভাইডাৰতে ঠিক আছে আৰক্ষী ভূমিকা পিসিআর কল কৰা সময় আৰক্ষী আহিছিলে পিচিআৰে সময়ত ট্ৰিটমেণ্টলৈকে আৰক্ষী ঠিকে আছিলে তাৰপিছত আৰক্ষীৰ পৰা কোনো ৰিছপন্স নাই এফআইআৰ নাই কৰা নাই সিহঁতে মোক এটলিষ্ট যিটো মই লিখিত কপি সেইটো মোক একো দিয়া নাই একো ৰিচিভিঙো দিয়া নাই আৰু কালিলৈকে মানে পৰহি পৰা কালিলৈকে একো দিয়া নাই কালি 9:30লৈকে মই তাত বহি থাকিলো একো ৰিছপন্স নাই তাৰ পৰা মোৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত তেওঁ আৰক্ষীয়ে মোৰ লগত ভাল হিচাপত বিহেভো কৰা নাই
In a big political development in Sikkim, Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang visited the residence of opposition SDF heavyweight leader GM Gurung in Chuba, South Sikkim today. Chief Minister Tamang was accorded a warm welcome. Although there is no official statement regarding this surprise visit, it has triggered many speculations about big political twist in the days to come. If reports are to be believed, then SDF leader GM Gurung will be joining the SKM on August 10th. So, big political development from the state of Sikkim, where Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang visited the residence of opposition SDF heavyweight leader GM Gurung in Chuba, South Sikkim today. Chief Minister Tamang was accorded a warm welcome. Although there is no official statement regarding this surprise visit, it has triggered many speculations about big political twist in the days to come. If reports are to be believed, SDF leader GM Gurung will be joining the SKM on August 10th. On to some national news now. In an interim relief to former BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma, the Supreme Court today directed that no coercive steps be taken against her in the multiple FIRs registered in several states over her remarks on Prophet Muhammad during a television channel debate on May 26th. The court said that the same relief will cover any future FIR or complaint which may be registered or entertained against her with respect to the same telecast. A bench comprising Justices Suryakant and J.B. Bardiwala, which had earlier refused to entertain Sharma's petition on July 1st, today issued notice on a fresh miscellaneous application filed by her seeking to revive her earlier plea. Sharma's lawyer, senior advocate Maninder Singh, submitted that after Supreme Court's order of July 1st, genuine and serious life threats have surfaced against her, and due to threats to life and liberty, she is not in a position to avail the alternate remedy of approaching the High Court as earlier directed by the Supreme Court. Considering this submission, the bench said that its main concern is to ensure protection for Sharma so that she can avail her remedies under law. The bench further issued notice to the union and states where FIRs have been registered to explore the modality of giving her security from life threats. The bench was considering Sharma's application to revive her withdrawn writ petition, which was filed to club the multiple FIRs registered in different states over her remarks on Prophet Muhammad. She had also sought for a stay of arrest in the cases as interim relief. In the miscellaneous application filed to reopen the writ petition, Sharma has said that she is receiving rape and death threats after the court's critical comments against her on July 1st. Meanwhile, a Pakistani national who crossed over to India via international border to allegedly kill suspended BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma was held in Rajasthan. Currently, a joint team of IB, RAW and military intelligence is interrogating him. A senior border security force officer informed that the man was held from near a Hindu Malkot border outpost. He was found in suspicious condition by patrolling team, where he was immediately detained and frisked. The senior official further said that during the preliminary investigation, the suspect informed that he has crossed the border to kill Nupur Sharma over her controversial remarks on Prophet. He had planned to visit Ajmer Dargah first before executing his plan. All right, we have a breaking news coming in, viewers. The Tripura High Court has directed the State Election Commission to complete the process of village committee elections, including declaration of results, preferably within the first week of November. So, breaking news at this point in time, viewers. The Tripura High Court has directed the State Election Commission to complete the process of village committee elections, including declaration of results, preferably within the first week of November. All right, so breaking news at this point in time, viewers, from the state of Tripura, where the Tripura High Court has directed the State Election Commission to complete the process of village committee elections, including declaration of results, preferably within the first week of November. So declaration of results are preferably within the first week of November. This is being said by the Tripura High Court, which has directed the State Election Commission to complete the process of village committee elections, including declaration of results preferably within the first week of November. All right, our assistant news editor Pinaki Das joins us from Agartala to give us the latest on this breaking news. Well, Pinaki, as the breaking news at this point in time is that the Tripura High Court has directed the State Election Commission to complete the process of village committee elections, including the declaration of results, preferably within the first week of November. More details.
See, this was a writ petition that was filed by one Rajesh Debbarma and Dalia Debbarma, and this was against the State Election Commission, and they had alleged that the State Election Commission did not take any steps to hold election and constitute the village committees since the 5-year terms of all village committees under the TTAADC, that is Tripura Tribal Areas Autonomous District Council, had ended on March 7 last year. If you remember, Mr. Pradyut Kishore Debbarma, the Tripura Mota chief, has been regularly demanding that why the State Election Commission is not declaring this election for the village committee, because without that, the development and the TTADC, which the Tripura Mota had won last year, could not be done. This lot of development activities were not taking place as it was desired. And so this case today, ultimately, the Chief Justice of Tripura High Court, that is Chief Justice Indrajit Mohanty and Justice S.G. Chattopadhyay, and today they have asked the State Election Commission, and in this case, the order was that the State Election Commission should try to complete the entire process, including the results, by the past week of November. So it's a blow to the state government that is ruling BJP IPFC government, and it can be considered as a victory for Tripura Mota, which has been demanding this election. They regularly, Tripura Mota chief Pradyut Kishore said, when other elections, including the by-election and civic body polls, election can take place, why not the village council? So it's a victory for them that way.
Thank you, Pinaki, for giving us those details. Shifting focus now, opposition parties today continued their protest on the issue of price rise and the increase in goods and service tax, or GST, near the Gandhi statue in the parliament. The Congress leader Rahul Gandhi today joined the opposition protest against price rise in Parliament. The monsoon session of Parliament began on Monday and it coincided with the presidential elections 2022. Standing before the statue of Mahatma Gandhi in the Parliament premises, the opposition leaders shouted slogans calling for the government to reduce prices of essentials. The first day of monsoon session saw ruckus and disruption amid the opposition stir in both the houses, which were adjourned within hours. Among other issues that are likely to be brought up would be the central government's Agnipath short-term recruitment scheme. The Ministry of Home Affairs informed today in the Parliament that the central government has received a proposal from the government of West Bengal for renaming the state as Bangla in all three languages, namely Bengali, English and Hindi. Notably, the Minister of State in MHA, Nityanand Rai, in a written reply to the Lok Sabha, has informed that MHA has given no objection certificate to the proposals received during the last 5 years for changing the name of cities across the country. It may be mentioned here that All India Trinamool Congress MP Saida Ahmed questioned on the details and the number of proposals received by the Ministry of Home Affairs for getting approval to change the city's name across the country and whether the government has revamped the guidelines for changing the names of the heritage places. To this question, Rai replied that MHA has no such guidelines for the change of names of heritage places. He further informed that in addition, a proposal for changing the name of Nazrulganj Nagar to Bherunda has been received in the Ministry of Home Affairs on April 25, 2022 from the government of Madhya Pradesh. And on that note, I will leave you with some news from across the nation in our News Express. Keep watching Northeast Live. In a shocking incident, a 59-year-old deputy superintendent of police was run over by an overloaded truck while trying to stop mining activities near Pachgaon village in Haryana's Noor today. The deceased cop has been identified as Surendra Singh. Acting on a tip-off, Singh arrived at Pachgaon and the Sadar police station area at around 11:30 a.m. to stop the truck illegally carrying stones. Singh signaled the truck driver to stop. However, the driver did not stop and instead ran over the cop. According to local authorities, Singh died on the spot. Meanwhile, the Haryana Home Minister Anil Vij has directed the police of nearby districts for stringent action against the culprits and to nab the culprits if needed. According to sources, Singh was posted as Deputy Superintendent of Police, Taupin. It may be mentioned here that senior officers have reached the spot and started investigation into the matter. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today remembered Mangal Pandey on his birth anniversary and said that the freedom fighter had ignited the spark of patriotism at a very critical period in India's history. Notably, the Prime Minister took down to Twitter and wrote that the great Mangal Pandey is synonymous with courage and determination. Earlier this year, Prime Minister paid floral tribute to the statue of Mangal Pandey in Uttar Pradesh's Meerut. On the other hand, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu also paid tribute to Mangal Pandey on his birth anniversary and said that he will always be remembered for his invaluable role in India's freedom movement. It may be mentioned here that Mangal Pandey, who is known as the first freedom fighter of India, played a key role in India's first major rebellion against the British Empire in 1857. He was a sepoy in the 34th Bengal Native Infantry Regiment of the British East India Company. The Supreme Court today transferred various pleas challenging the Agnipath scheme to the Delhi High Court. Notably, a bench headed by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud directed the Registrar General to transfer these matters to the Delhi High Court. In this regard, the Supreme Court also clarified that as other similar petitions challenging the Agnipath scheme are pending in other various high courts, the concerned high courts should either give an option to the petitioners to either have their petitions transferred to the Delhi High Court or to keep their petitions pending with liberty to petitioners to intervene in the Delhi High Court. The top court said that it cannot pass the buck and deprive itself of the reasoning of the High Court. The court also requested the Delhi High Court to take up the matter and dispose of it expeditiously. Renowned former athlete P.T. Usha took oath as a Rajya Sabha MP today. Earlier on Monday, P.T. Usha from Kerala and legendary music composer Ilya Raja from Tamil Nadu could not be present in the Rajya Sabha for oath-taking due to some reasons. Notably, P.T. Usha, who was born in a small village in Kozhikode district in Kerala, is one of India's most iconic sportsperson. PT Usha has been a role model and inspiration for lakhs of young girls across the country who have dreamt of taking up a career in sports, especially track and field events. In the 1984 Olympics, she missed winning India's first medal in track and field in a photo finish as she stood fourth in women's 400-meter hurdles and lost the bronze medal by 1/100 seconds. Earlier on Monday, cricketer turned politician Harbhajan Singh, daughter of a former Bihar Chief Minister Lalu Prasad Yadav Misa Bharati, and BCCI Vice President Rajiv Shukla took oath along with nearly 25 other leaders as Rajya Sabha members. Kerala police today registered a case in connection with an alleged incident of harassment of a girl student before appearing for the National Eligibility Entrance Test in the state's Kollam district. A case was registered under Section 354 and 509 of the Indian Penal Code at the Chandimangalam police station under the Kollam Rural Police District. For the unversed, the incident came to light after a student filed a complaint with the superintendent of police at the Kollam after the NEET exam for undergraduate medical courses on July 18th. In this regard, Kerala Higher Education Minister R. Bindu has written to Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan expressing dismay and shock at the news of assault on the dignity and honor of the girl student and sought strong action against the agency which forced girls to remove their undergarment before entering the test center near Kollam. Meanwhile, the state's Women Commission has also registered a suo motu case over the incident. A Delhi court today released Sushil and Gopal Ansal against the jail term already undergone in the case of tampering with evidence. Moreover, the court imposed a fine of rupees 2.25 crore each imposed on Sushil and Gopal Ansal in the Upahar tragedy case. Earlier on Monday, the court upheld the conviction of both the Ansals in connection with the evidence tampering case in 1997 Upahar Cinema Hall fire tragedy. The court heard the fresh arguments today on the sentence as the Ansal brothers have also challenged the 7-year jail term handed to them by the magistrates court in November 8th last year for tampering evidence. Besides Ansals, the court had also convicted P.P. Batra, Anup Singh and Dinesh Chand Sharma while handing 7-year jail term to them. The sentencing took place after the court had convicted the accused for the abatement of offence, causing disappearance of evidence, criminal breach of trust by a public servant and criminal conspiracy. The Ministry of Home Affairs today stated that a total of 24 states and 7 union territories have constituted police complaints authorities on redressal mechanism to inquire into the complaints of police misconduct. Notably, the Union Minister of State for Home, Nityanand Rai, shared the input while giving a written reply to a question raised by All India Majlis-e Ittehadul Muslime MP Asauddin OIC. As per available information, the minister said Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, Sikkim, Tamil Nadu, Tripura, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, Lakshadweep and Puducherry have constituted the Police Complaints Authority. The minister further said that police is a state subject falling in List 1 of the 7th Schedule of the Constitution of India, and that it is primarily the responsibility of the state governments and the union territory administrations to make the police force efficient and capable and its functioning more effective and transparent. As several states across the country continue to face a heavy downpour, a cloudburst was reported at Sahalgarh village today. Several small water canals were also eroded due to the cloudburst. Earlier, several people were feared to be washed away in flash floods caused by a cloudburst that wreaked havoc at Chot Nula in Parvati Valley of Himachal Pradesh's Kulu district. Consequently, the incident caused considerable damage to the properties and also destroyed the only bridge that leads to the village. Meanwhile, Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, Jairam Thakur, had reviewed the administration's preparedness to tackle various emergency situations arising out of heavy rain meeting in the state with the deputy commissioners and superintendent of police of all the districts through video conferencing from Shimla. Notably, the chief minister had directed the officers to make foolproof arrangements for managing disasters that are arising due to heavy rains. The Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj terminus in Mumbai was illuminated with tricolour lights today on the eve of commencement of the week celebrating Azadi Ki Rail Gari or stations. Notably, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is an initiative of the Government of India to celebrate 75 years of independence and the glorious history of country's people, culture and achievements. As part of these celebrations, Indian Railways is celebrating the iconic week of Azadi Ki Rail Gari or stations at 75 stations and 27 trains from 18 to 23rd of July. These specific trains and stations mark important places and events which are associated with the glorious history of India's struggle for freedom. It may be mentioned here that Chairman of CEO of Railway Board, Shri Vinay Kumar Tripathi, inaugurated the iconic week celebrations of Azadi Ki Rail Gari or stations on 18th of July 2022 in Rail Bhavan. The Union Ministry of Home Affairs today announced that over 1.6 lakh Indians renounced their citizenship in 2021. Notably, the data was released by Union Minister of State Home Affairs Nityanand Rai as a reply to a Bahujan Samaj Party MP Haji Fazlur Rahman in Lok Sabha. Rahman had sought details about the number of Indian nationals who relinquished their citizenship till date starting 2019, the reasons cited for the move and the countries where they received a citizenship. As per the government data, the United States remained the preferred choice for settling down, with the number of Indians who received citizenship in the country increasing from 30,828 in 2020 to 78,284 in 2021.
जाएंगे हम वहां जहां की हर खबर छुप जाती है और दिखाएंगे वो जो रहता है आपकी नजरों से उझल।